morning. Good morning, manifestors. Happy Tuesday. All right, we're going live over here, Instagram and Facebook. Wow, what a world. Okay. I have to say, I'm having a little issue over here with Facebook again. Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm Lisa Meta, and my company is Metamorfize, and I'm a mind mastery coach and breathwork practitioner. What does that even mean? All these words always. Basically, I help you turn your inner critic into your inner coach, because we all have voices going on in our head. It's not your fault. We have programs that were created and developed from when we were a child, based on what we saw, based on what we heard, based on what we experienced, and you developed a program. We all did. Not all programs are bad. And so as a mind mastery coach, you know, I used to be a graphic designer, help people have a logo and a branding. I used to do business development where I can help you build a business. But no matter what you're building, whatever result you want on the outside of your life, it all starts with your mind, adjusting your mind, tweaking the mental knobs so that your mind is actually aligning to what you want. It's calling it in. It's working together, inner, outer. So as a mind mastery coach, I work with you to make sure what you're thinking. Good morning, Liz. Again, yay, here we go. As a mind mastery coach, I'm really here to help you and hold the space for you to keep your mind aligned to where you're going, because these sneaky programs that we have, sometimes we don't even know they're there. Sometimes they creep in on us, and then we're wondering, why are we working so hard and not getting the results? And it's because of these little tiny subtle beliefs, subtle tracks that run. You know, if you've been in my work for a while, you'll know I talk about the tarot readings coming. It's coming. You gotta listen for a little bit, and then we're gonna do it. What's your name, by the way? WXD. I forgot what I was saying. I got excited about the tarot readings. Yeah. The sneaky patterns and programs. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. All right, welcome to week. If you're here joining me on Facebook, give me a what's up, a good morning, so I know who's here. And we're going to be doing a tarot reading at the end with my Osho deck. This is one of the most powerful decks. Okay, William, what's up? What's up? This is one of the most powerful and potent decks that I have in my life. It's such basic, simple words on here, but everything is about perspective shifting. And if you see things differently, then you'll see things differently. And then you can get out of any sort of stuckness or ruts, because really things can change like that. And I'm going to actually talk about that today in a little bit of a story that I have. So today's week 4 of the sensory experience that we're doing. This has been really amazing to awaken your senses. So this is the week of taste. This one means a lot to me for a really core reason of the fact that food has been one of my biggest teachers and lessons in my life. Food as in my food, relationship with food, eating food and how it affects how I feel about myself and my body, my food addiction, my just how I have had to navigate food, which is tasting, which led to a different kind of taste in life, but that's been my story. And oh, I know what I was going to say from before when I forgot. Was about the needle on the record, those programs. And if you're new to my work or you've heard it before, I have a needle on the record analogy, which is going to come into play today, because when you have an old program that has been running for decades, it is a well-worn groove on that record. I mean, it knows its spot. It's like, yeah, we're playing that song. You know, hey, Mr. DJ, get this party started. So it's going around and around, whether it's I don't like my body, I feel fat, I'm not good enough, I'll never make it, whatever. And it's, by the way, like I said, not all programs are bad. So you have that one running and it's a track, but then something in you realizes you want to make a change. Something in you feels that it wants to change the song. So people, I've seen this in myself and multiple times, and the reason why I do this work is because we think that, oh, let's have that new thought, like affirmations. You know, I'm all about affirmations, but I'm actually more about repetition than I am only about the affirmation. The repetition is you have to move the needle from the well-worn groove over to a new spot of that record that has no groove. It's a brand new thought, possibly, like, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I'm a millionaire. Yeah, I love my body. Whatever that new groove is. But the thing is that, hey, Kelly, it always is what, like, think about a record, literally. If there's no groove there, so of course it's going to go zoop up right back into the well groove song. Thank you. And so the work is not to just do it once. The work is to keep putting it over each time into the new groove, into the new groove, into the new groove, until it has a little bit of, you know, goes around a few times. And I'm bringing this up because my whole 2-3 decades, maybe, I don't know, of my journey was about not realizing that I had to keep putting it back over there. And I got so defeated in my attempt to make changes in my life relating to food and body image. And I thought I just couldn't go on at one point until, you know, it's one day it stuck. I never gave up. And so let's rewind the song for a second. Okay, so we're on taste. This week is on taste. Yeah, and on Monday, yesterday, Monday. I did a meditation last night that was about, what are we truly hungry for? You know, what do we really have a taste in life for? Because maybe you can resonate with this in your life, because food finds its way through all of our lives in different ways. But I was definitely soothing with food, and I almost like stopped tasting things at one point because it was more about stuffing and shoving down and feeling full with this. I needed to feel something, and full was what I knew. My mom is a chef. I grew up love and food was love. You know, and I know that's a common thing in a lot of our families, and it's also where we come together as family during dinner, during meals, during holidays, you know. And we would have these holidays. I mean, we would have our regular dinners, which were like 6-course meals. It was so funny. People would come over to our house for dinner, which was like always elaborate. And then my brothers and I would run over to the next door neighbor so we could have like grilled cheese, or like, no, because my mom would make like a 6-cheese grilled cheese, but like peanut butter and jelly, or like pizza. Like I would always escape for like the simple meal. Isn't that funny how we always want what we don't have? So food was love. So imagine that. This is how I was given love. Eat this. Do you like this? It wasn't like, finish this, but it was like there was so much love in the form of food around me that I ate it. Not to mention, I had 2 brothers that are older. So portion distortion was like, you know, keeping up with 2 brothers, you know, growing big was like, oh, okay, I'll eat that much too. Or, you know, that subtle competition that happens where it's like, my piece of cake isn't as big as his, or whatever. I don't know. These tracks were subtle, but I've dissected them over time, and they've all played a tiny little role in my relationship with food. Okay, so fast forward. Food is love. I'm growing as an adult. How have I learned to love myself? With food. So I start eating. When I feel lonely, I love myself with food. You know, everything that we do is to love ourselves. Eating a lot, even drugs that we do that, you know, you look from the outside and you're like, how could you ever do that? How could that ever be a way that you love yourself? Because we have a pain and we're trying to numb it, or we're trying to, you know, at least get a momentary satisfaction of like reprieve. I don't want to think about it anymore. So Food is how I loved myself for a really long time. And obviously it didn't work as far as like, did I love myself? In the moment I did. I was a serious binge eater. I had major portion distortion. I ended up in Overeaters Anonymous, which was the best thing I ever did in my whole life. I actually only went to like 3 meetings, but it opened my eyes so big to that thing I was telling you about, where I put the needle on a different part of the record. That day was the day my mind was blown open, because that was the day I had the biggest perspective shift of my life, and I could no longer not see what I saw. Like, that is what all of my work is about, is you wake up something. We got to wake it up so you can see it differently, because the things around you don't change, but the way you see them can and does. And when that happens, it feels like, I can see how people say like, oh, it feels like a miracle or it's magic, because it's also like alignment, and everything is trying to pull you into alignment. And when you do click it in, the cascading effect of everything starts happening. So this Overeaters Anonymous meeting blew my mind, because I had made up in my head that story of that record of what kind of people would be there, who was I, the kind of, like, I had my who am I all tight. I am fat. I can't control myself with eating. Nobody understands me. I mean, I don't wear bathing suits. Whatever. I mean, the list was long of all the I can'ts and don'ts and negative thinking that was spinning out of control. And the obsessive thinking was another part of this. It's like it was running my mind. And I'm getting to the taste thing, by the way. Because basically what happened in this meeting was I got there and I saw people of all different sizes and all different shapes, and what came through in that meeting was something that is the best gift of all, and that was how we all shared one thing in common, and it was what was happening in here. And that was the thing. I never thought anyone was going to ever be able to understand that the way that my mind was working, the way that when I would binge eat, I'd go somewhere else. I wasn't even there anymore. I called it the zone. And I'd come out of it and be like, what just happened? And I have a whole video series that I started doing on what just happened. What did I just do? Because it does feel like, in some ways, an out-of-body experience when you are taken over by addiction, or you're taken over by something that feels outside of you. But the thing is that led me to do this work on making my mind my servant and having a taste for life that was outside of food. And this is where the taste thing comes in for me. I needed to feel full without feeding myself food. Okay, I'll say that again. I needed to feel full in my life without feeding myself food. I was so busy stuffing food down, I wasn't actually living my life. I wasn't feeling fulfilled, literally filled in my life. And there's a few resources. Even just this title can wake up something for you. The Hunger Within. This book it's pretty amazing. I mean, it's a 12-week self-guided journey from compulsive eating to recovery. You know, and wait, I don't know how to get that to not be blurry. And I think whether you have a food thing or not in your life, I think the question is, what are you really hungry for? Like, what is it that you have a burning desire for in life that is going to literally make you feel full? Then food becomes fuel, not fill. I was filling, not fueling. And when you're filling, you don't even taste anything. It's like, I remember just eating so fast and just so mindlessly that it was almost like I said, what did I just do? It was like almost, and coming from the chef life of like flavors and fine dining and just like appreciating food, I had lost that. So I decided to stop eating sugar for 2 years. Well, I decided to stop eating sugar for 30 days because as you know, if you know my work, I do 30-day sprints of things because 30 days, 5 minutes a day of something. But before I got to the 5-a-day method, I did certain things like 30 days of yoga, 30 days of no sugar. 30 days of no sugar turned into 2 years of no sugar, which then turned into 2 years of no alcohol too at a different time. And I remember eating a strawberry after I stopped eating fruit for a while in that 2 years of no sugar because I really wanted to release. I wanted to understand what people were telling me, that if you eliminate sugar from your body, then you no longer have these things called cravings. And I was like, I want to experience that. And I went on a whole journey of this, who am I without? The minute you ask yourself that question, who am I without, you open up the possibility that something can change, that you could be someone else that you cannot even imagine in this moment. Like, who am I without a food addiction? What? Who am I if I'm a sober person living in this life? There's nothing wrong. I'm not saying I had an alcohol problem, or maybe I did. I don't know. But the thing is that I wanted to give myself the opportunity to know, because look, I spend so much time over here in this part of the extreme of overeating and filling up with food and doing all the indulgence. Then if I wanted to be this conscious person that I thought I was, then I said, you know what? Why don't I at least give myself the chance to experience over here and then decide where in here I want to be, live, that I want to have as my harmony balance moment, because I believe that harmony and balance only exist because of its polarities. So how can we say we're in harmony or balance unless we really truly get the two polarities in which we're balancing? And for me, I happen to be a very extreme person. I've always had extreme ways about me. I'm an intense person. So if I wanted to do one intensity, I had to go to the other intensity. So I did. And some people call that extreme and crazy or whatever, but you know what was the best thing I did? Because back to that strawberry. When I ate that strawberry, I have never experienced, it's almost like, whoa, I was like experiencing a strawberry like for the first time. And it made me appreciate food and taste. And that began a whole new journey of my recovery. And by the way, I did see a psychologist, a food psychologist about this. I did a lot of work with myself. Breath work was a huge thing on helping me release actually a lot of the actual wiring and the tension that was in my body around my body image distortion. And just like I was angry about things. And I was angry about missing out on time and vacations and so many things. So here I was awakening my sense of taste, which I'm going for here as my taste for life, my taste and joy for living again without being so obsessed in my mind. And so yeah, that working with someone, the hunger within led me to fasting. It was always my dream to be able to do fasting. Why? Because it meant that I had control in a way that I never thought I could have, where food became, like I said, fuel, where I started to understand that I didn't need to fill my body with things. Just like around that same time, I started to become more of a minimalist. And yeah. So that's a little bit. I know I was on a different train of thought. So that brings me to my salad ring. I wear a salad ring. Here it is. Salad. So I wear a salad ring because, well, I was a little too chicken to get a tattoo, which I'm still getting one, but I'm not going to get a salad one, although maybe I will. That's been a big joke lately. Like, in the end, I'm going to get a salad ring. I mean, a salad tattoo. So I wear this because this is a reminder of how far I've come. This is a reminder of the fact that I now have worked to make healthy choices, and that I won't be the same. I don't binge eat anymore. And I do have to pay attention to things. You know, I find that the food addiction is the hardest one, and I'm not trying to like judge different addictions. I have like a hair somewhere here. Because to be honest, it's not even about the substance. It's about what's going on in your mind. And that's what I was saying I learned when I went to that Overeaters Anonymous meeting. However, we do have to navigate the food world on a daily basis. And sometimes it can be difficult because you have to learn that if you make a mistake, tomorrow is a new day. An hour from now is a new day. Like, you can't cut out food completely. You do have to make a relationship with it. And like, think back to what I just said. Well, if food is love, I had to figure out, and maybe still am on multiple levels of my life as I grow and evolve and keep on layering like an onion. How do I love myself then? What does loving myself look like? And let me tell you, you want to hear something funny? Every boyfriend has been a chef. I mean, when I started piecing these things together, I was like, what? Of course, they feed me. I'm an eater. And so I started to actually get into sharing with the men and just people around me, like, hey, I'm going to make you some food. Let's eat my style food. And it's just been interesting. Liz, I was an exercise bulimic before the phase even existed. I finally found my place in eating anything I wanted as long as I listened to my fullness level, and then craved quality taste and less volume. Yes. Well, congratulations for moving through that. Wow. I mean, that's really what it's about, is listening to your body, which is another note that I had here, which is why in some ways I do wear this ring, because it's a reminder that I love eating healthy. I love feeling, like you say, less volume. I love that. That's why I've loved this fasting thing, because it's such a great feeling to realize how little food we actually need. The truth is, that's the truth. And like, once you, again, the extreme. So I was an overeater, then I ended up in fasting. Wow, what a mind-blown moment though, to realize how little we need to move through the day. And actually, the less I had, the more energy I ended up having. And you know, food, our taste buds too. Like, you know, I wanted to just quickly get a little, not that, yeah, I mean, I'm like such a dork. My process is called the science of change. So I love science, and these senses have really given me an opportunity to look at also the biology of our body. Last week when we did the eyes, I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. The like visual system is so complicated. And I hadn't really spent a lot of time, excuse me, really looking at our visual system. So taste buds, okay? Taste buds contain also receptor cells. We have 5 different kinds of taste buds that are helping us navigate. All of our senses are helping us to navigate the external world. So if you think about it, back in the day, you know, hunters and gatherers may have used certain tastes to distinguish, you know, if that's a good thing to eat, if that's not a good thing to eat. Okay, the 5 elements of taste perception are saltiness, sourness, bitterness, sweetness, and umami. Now, it's often said that, like, if you're someone who craves a lot of sweet things in life, like, maybe you are missing sweetness in your life. So back to, like, what are you really hungry for? Like, if we use these as metaphors, then do you need to soften or sweeten, or, you know, have more gentle kindness coming towards you? You know, you can look at the taste buds and the things that you're craving as possibly what you're actually craving in life. So, okay. Let me see here. I think I covered almost everything I wanted to cover here. Just about what are you truly hungry for, honoring your body and listening to it. And the only way to listen to it is really about stillness and maybe trying out new things, whether it's, I'm not saying, oh, everyone needs to go juicing and cleansing or anything like that. But the thing is on your way to the cleanse, you listen to your body, you listen to your mind. You're like, oh, I could never do that. Like I went to do a Vipassana meditation, which is sitting silent for 10 days I did. And I remember when I was on my way there, people were like, oh my God, I could never do that. I could never sit silent for 10 days and not talk. And I was like, well, maybe that's something to look at, because I could never means to me an opportunity to look at what you could open up to, because what possibly could be on the other side of that. So I could never stop eating for a day. It's like, but maybe you can. And what if something magical happens along the way to that process of asking yourself the questions? Like, is it even about stopping for the day? Maybe not. Maybe it's about you questioning why you think you can't stop eating, or questioning, okay, you learned that you had to be like the clean your plate club, like every time you eat, clear your plate all the time, even if you're full, like you're a garbage can for food, because that's what you were told in this whole thing about, oh, well, people are dying in Ethiopia, and like that whole time where we grew up, it's like, clean your plate. Well, I challenge you to leave a pea on your plate, or let's say that you have this thing where you have to have a piece of bread with butter with every meal. Try, maybe not. Whatever you think you are locked into as a way, and this is not just with food. I think this is really with everything. And this brings me back to the who am I without that thing? Who am I without it? Just the question itself will open up many things. So speaking about opening up many things, let's do some tarot readings. I see a few of you here. Thank you for hanging in. So think of a number, send me a number, and I'm going to pull a card for you. And if you're still here, I think William, that was your name, right? Kelly, William, Liz, I'm not sure who's still here, but drop me some numbers. Hey, Alibaba, 007, 0007. All right, so yeah, let's do this. Let's pick a number. Oh, what's up, Yoli? Also, share with me, like, what did anything I say resonate with you? Because you know what, food is a big personal topic. And thank you for sharing that, Liz, about your journey. Like, I really appreciate it. And I like eating and still on that journey. That's what I said. The food one can be the most difficult because we like eating. And that's the thing about food. It's linked to pleasure. Oh, and Thursday we got an amazing experience with Holly Toronto, a good friend of mine. We did a mastermind together. She's incredible. She works with body image and but not in a typical way, and she works with food and dieting and all of this, but I love it. Like, she flips the script, and that's what it's all about. She helps work with people on such a deep level. So yeah, we're doing the tarot reading right now. So if you're just joining me, I see some people on Facebook coming in. Okay, Yoli, 7 and 1. And what else was I going to say about that? Oh yeah, so let me know, like, what resonates with you, or what is it that you're working through? Because I'm actually realizing that this topic of food and my food addiction and my whole path here is something I'm pretty passionate. I am passionate about, and I'm thinking about actually creating some more work around this. So I'm interested if people are interested in this, because you've heard that thing, right? How you do one thing is how you do everything, and how we eat and what we put into our bodies and the way we are relating with food can actually show us a lot of things about the way that we're interacting with our outside world. All right, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. Oh wait, 1. Liz, 1. Okay. Adrian, what's up? You're here. I had Adrian, what's the number? I'm picking cards. Okay, any other numbers? I'm just looking back at the numbers. 1 and 7. All right. Well, okay, so Yoli. 10, suppression. I mean 10 as in that's the card number. 4, got you. Okay. So yeah, suppression, interesting, because this is what I was talking about. I mean, this is kind of how I felt when I was in my food addiction. I was constantly stuffing shit down. Wait, you see it? This is a place that I think addiction takes us. And again, the word addiction is really sensitive to me because, like I said, it's not about the substance. It's about the mind. What you're making meaning of things. The fact that you feel like you can't control something. But okay, so suppression in this sense to me is basically like, if you keep shoving things down and not dealing with them, whether they are feelings, and you don't express your truth to yourself and to others, you become this cracking, like the world around you starts cracking and you will explode. Yoli, tell me what you hear in that. Tell me what you feel. Tell me what you think. And I know, that this thing has he's all tied up in knots. You can't move. You feel paralyzed in life. And it's a really horrible feeling to feel trapped like that. And, I also want to say that for everyone here who might be feeling caught inside of any addictive patterns, there is a way out. I am proof of that, and there are many people, and I know that when people would say that to me, like, if I did it, you can do it, I'd be like, go fuck yourself. But I guess I have to say it, and I can help you out, and you can get out. And I think the first step is that possibility. Remember, who am I without it? You just keep asking yourself, well, who am I without eating at midnight every night? Just question it. Eventually you can get through it. Liz, we are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter place, so let's start living. Well, I can tell you this other thing about addiction. Today ended up turning into addiction conversation, but that's just where I went today. And you know what? Addiction can feel so isolating that this is a reminder that when you step into having true taste for life and you get in touch with what you're truly hungry for, and the hunger within you, which is that joy and that peace that we were talking about this morning, and that feeling of, asking for your worth in life, you become one with the world. It's all connected. You can really feel aligned. Tell me what you hear and think about that. By the way, this popped out at the same time, the creativity card for you, Liz. And being creative with your business, being creative with your mind, thinking differently. That's what's going to get you there. Break out. That's the other thing we get addicted to. It's almost like we love the taste of the comfort. We love the taste of the familiar. Yeah, how about that? Eat that. We love the taste of the familiar. That's the line. That's a good line for today. You got 2 cards, girl. All right, Adrian, you wanted 4. All right, here we go, everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, ripeness. And this is interesting. Not only is it food here, working on expressing my truth, my words stay stuck in my throat for fear of looking vulnerable. Oh, so you're shoving that down, Yoli, and when you shove that down, then actually you could be shoving it down physically, mentally, but also with food. That can get dangerous. And then, when we're not fully expressed, When we're holding something back, when we have that suppression, that's when we turn to vices. And look, I talk about this so much in my groups. That hold on, Adrian, I'm coming back to this. Each direction, each choice, we are in constant decision making every day, all day, every day, all day. Decision, 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 decision. And there's a lot of these moments where we have this crossroads. The thing is, each crossroad has its own little flavor of discomfort, right? You've got the, like, let's say I want to go to the gym today, okay? I got to get up. I got to go to the gym. You're either going to push through the moment of sticking your shoes on and getting out the door, which is like, and it could have like a little bit of like your mind discomfort and it doesn't feel good. But you push through, you got there, done. It was a little discomfort compared to not getting up, then constantly thinking about it for the whole day, then feeling bad about yourself for the whole day, and then tomorrow coming and having to challenge your mind all over again. Everything has two sides. Quick discomfort, prolong the discomfort. So you have to start accepting that things are not always like flow. However, the more you do that, the more it can feel like flow. Because I'm not going to be promoting things have to be hard, but I do think they take effort. Okay, back to this, ripeness. Okay, ripeness, this card is amazing because, listen, nature is my guru. So when it comes to, first of all, when is the flavor, the taste of the fruit the best? When it's ripe, when it falls off the tree by itself. There's no pulling, there's no tugging. And in life, we are trying to force things and we're trying to speed things up and we're so impatient in this go, now society that we forget that, you know what? Chill out. Everything has its moment. And can we find enjoyment in the waiting and in the expecting? You know, I say expecting is actually, it's like you're expecting it to happen. It's like an active form of patience. Of course, it's like a certainty. Of course, it's going to fall off the tree. You don't question that this will fall off when it's ready. So for you and everyone here, ripeness has to do with just relaxing in the process, trusting that if you planted a seed, that it will grow and it will fall into your, you do have to be there to catch it. Don't neglect your trees, but you check in on it and then you come back. So Adrian, tell me how that might have resonated with you. And as far as like food, it's kind of like, yeah, enjoy it. And there may be times where your tree has so many fruit coming off it at the same time, and that's when you share it. Sharing with others. All right, if you're just joining here and you have a number, give me a number, and then we're going to be ending for today if that's it. I'm just checking. Did I miss anybody? Yoli, what are you saying here? Actually, lately it's been liquor. Aha, yes, the good old alcohol. Food cravings, yes. Well, food and liquor have to do with each other. You feel exhausted. Yeah, what about if you decide that all of that is okay and that's also who you are? Because I do battle that part of me that's like, I'm so many different kinds of things. I'm like super health nut, fasting and eating my salads and then I love me a good wine and some whiskey and some fine dining and some dessert. And I think you've heard me say this so many times in this work. It's like, it's not that you fall down, it's how fast you get back up. It's also the things that, like, what you bring meaning to things. So you want to make it mean that you're a failure and that you can't do it and that you've fallen off the wagon, so fuck it, what's the point? Defeatist mentality, who cares? Then you're almost giving into that. You're indulging, literally. I'm trying to use all these words that have to do with, but it is an indulgence, and it's also giving yourself permission to keep going in either direction. There's no right or wrong. However, when you attach yourself to, I want to feel good in my life, and what's the best thing that's going to make me feel good? It's like, okay, 85-90% of the time you're eating a certain way, and then you might have your other moment. It's going to start to magnify that moment isn't really going to work for you. At some point, you're going to be like, I don't want to do that anymore. And I'm nearing that point. And I have to say, and this is what we're going to end with today, as I near that point of really not wanting that part of me anymore to be like a leading or even there at all, which feels like a death of me, by the way. It's like, well, wait, just like we say, who am I without the alcohol? It's like, well, who am I if I'm not fine dining and having a glass of wine? Well, just like I told you to question everything and try it, you know what? I went out last week and everyone was drinking wine and I didn't, because I was like, let me see how this feels. It felt amazing when I got home and I was like, yay to a good night's sleep. But I was going to say, you know, in the beginning, you do have to pay attention to the people you're hanging around with, because you are what you eat. You are who you hang out with, and you are what you say you are. So we're going to leave it on that. I want you to have a taste for excellence. I want you to have a taste for high vibrational foods, for high vibrational people, for high vibrational thoughts. I want you to taste full in life from things that have nothing to do with food. If you feel like you are indulging in certain substances, then I suggest making a list of things that you like to do. Maybe you remember that when you were a kid, what you like to do. I love my alcohol-free wine. Oh, they make that? Does it have a lot of sugar? Jeremy, do you want a tarot card? I'm picking cards. Give me a number. But yeah, I mean, like, if you've taken anything away from here, this is that idea that fill up. It's not about filling up with food or with anything. It's about feeling full in life from things that bring you joy. All right. Jeremy, going once, going twice, going thrice. If you pick a number, I'll pick you a card. If not, we're getting off right now. Oh, me and these are supposed to be 20 minutes. You know what? I feel like picking a card for myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm always doing 11. Oh, yeah, courage. Gotta have the... You know what this is? This plant pushes through even the cracks of the stone to come out, because it's like, I'm going to go towards the light and nothing's going to stop me. That was kind of my journey, actually. Even though I didn't feel like this, but looking back, that is what I did. I never gave up. Don't ever give up. No giving up, okay? There's no giving up. Just get help. If you feel like you're going to give up, go get help, because you need a perspective shift. You have to see your thing differently. Someone needs to wake up your taste for something else. All right, I'll see you. This is what we got going on this week. Thursday, over in my Next Level Manifestors page in Facebook, I have a guest coming to do a mini class at 4 o'clock on Thursday. It's Holly Toronto. She's the bomb digs. And if you like this type of vibe and the work that I'm doing and talking about mind mastery and breath work we did on Monday yesterday, I encourage you to join the Self Mastery Lab. That's a place for self-inquiry where you're going to turn your inner critic into your inner coach. And I'm there with you the whole way, and I believe in you, and you can do it. All right. Have a fun day tasting life. Bye.